We want Brixton to be a black Silicon Valley. Yes, lads, and I want Jesus to return from the dead, kick my front door in, and offer me his magic wine glass that fills itself every 10 minutes. But we don't always get what we want, do we? Okay, possibly one of the most disturbingly racist stories I've ever seen on the BBC, and they do plenty. But this one takes the biscuit and the cake. This one takes more cake and biscuit than Diane Abbott doing a trolley dash at Fox's confectionery factory. In the heart of Brixton Village sit three black entrepreneurs with a vision to turn their home into a black Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley isn't very black. Some people might argue that's why Silicon Valley has made massive amounts of money, generates staggering wealth, and has property values so ludicrous that you pay $3 million for a cupboard. Born and bred in South London, Karl, Cyril and Yvonne are the founders of Blackseed, which only invests in and supports black-owned businesses. Can you imagine if a white bloke set up a company called White Seed and they only gave money to white-owned businesses? The British government would have Andy McNab round their house. Their first board meeting would get strafed by an Apache gunship. You are more likely to contract skin cancer than receive funding for your business as a black founder in the UK. We all know that's nonsense. Maybe it's just hard to get funding for your business in general, because we know that you're actually more likely to get funding for anything if you aren't a pasty blue-eyed white boy like me. We've all seen the education statistics, haven't we? From the BBC's own story, white pupils are falling behind every step of the way. Only 16% of white pupils get free places when they're on free meals, compared with 60% of black Africans and Bangladeshis and 32% of black Caribbeans. So you're lying, and I'm using your own website to prove that you're lying. They get more money given to them than the natives. So don't talk bollocks all your life, BBC. Having raised over $5 million since the firm began in 2021, if me and two blokes called Jono and Steve try to do this, we'd get less funding than the RNLI did this year, and they've been giving free boat rides to convicted rapists. Funny old thing, it's not a good business model. It doesn't really motivate people to dig deeply. It's like Comic Relief having a fundraiser for Harold Shipman. Do you think they'd make plenty of money, do you? Co-founder Karl was 12 years old when he witnessed someone being shot for the first time, and then he got involved in gangs and subscribed to that way of living. Okay, so we welcomed a foreigner into this country, and then he was a criminal gangster, murderer, drug dealer for many, many years. You do surprise me. What's it all about with people giving credit to someone for being a total scumbag the whole life, and then all of a sudden stopping? Why do they get credit? I've never been a gangster drug dealer, and I've never ever been a criminal, and I don't get any credit for it. But this guy is a walking stereotype that brought misery and ruination to his neighbourhood, and he's a hero because he's stopped doing it now. By this logic, if you beat 10 bells a shite out of 4 of your wives, but you finally stop doing it on your 5th marriage, you're a better person than me, who's never give a woman a bat, ever. Even that one girlfriend that took a solid chunk out of my bell end when she was giving me a nosh. Never laid a glove on her. I think I deserve more credit than the serial cheaters and scumbags and thieves and crooks, because I've never been one. But apparently not. Apparently we should all worship at this guy's altar. Karl managed to turn his life around after being a criminal for a long time. Well done, mate. You only mugged a few dozen people before you stopped doing it. He met Cyril Lutterow, then he realised he could help black entrepreneurs. And he specifically doesn't want to help white and Asian people. What does that make him? I think there's a word for it, don't you? I think there's a word for it when you specifically target people based off the skin colour. It slips my mind. There are certain challenges that black entrepreneurs face that their peers don't. We speak to many founders who have no mentor or network of support. Yeah, join the club. I know plenty of blokes that own businesses. I don't think they had any mentorship or support either. They just knuckled down and did it. My mate Craig's got a business up in Glasgow. He didn't get any help off anyone. He did all the donkey work himself. So, as usual, these lunatics who despise people that look differently from them, that also started out as criminals, they're being treated like heroes, and the guys like Craig who just knuckle down and get on with it, he's a wanker. Yvonne, as a 30-year-old, left her job in finance to work with Blackseed full-time, I was tired of angrily protesting and I wanted to make a difference. We've worked with around 2,500 to 3,000 companies so far, providing them with anything from mentoring to investment. One of the companies that caught the eye of Blackseed is a mother and daughter duo who run an online fashion and wellness brand. Wow, an online fashion and wellness brand. Wow, there isn't hundreds of thousands of them in the world, is there? Ingenious, however did they think of it? Kalia and Rose from West London set up the Pro Box 7 years ago and have been receiving support from the entrepreneurs. And they're also getting support off the BBC because they've just given them a free advert. If you were ginger and looked like me, you wouldn't get a free advert off the BBC and you wouldn't get free money off them. And if you were on free school meals and grew up in Glasgow, you'd have a 10% chance of going to university. But if you're from London and you look like them, you have a 60% chance of going to university. And apparently, they're being hard done by. I've shot my bolt. I don't think I need to throw any more facts at you. If you look like me, you are being stitched up. If your family have paid income tax for 40 generations, they're stealing your money and giving it to people that don't like you because the woke are prejudiced, racist, hateful people that promote bigotry and racism and hatred and divisiveness and bitterness and resentment because that is what their toxic ideology thrives upon. So this whole story is nonsense and now you know. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheers. See you all soon.